Welcome back, soap lovers, to your one-stop shop for all things drama, deception, and diabolical scheming, otherwise known as The Young and the Restless. Today's episode was a masterclass in psychological warfare, kidnapping shenanigans, and of course, Phyllis being the queen of I will not rest until I get revenge. So grab your popcorn, your wine, or if you're Sharon, a lavender latte, and let's dive into this madness. So we start our day at Crimson Lights, where Nick, our resident good guy beefcake, hands Sharon her signature lavender latte and a brownie. Now, listen, Sharon is fresh off of a whole hostage situation, and what's the first thing she does? She squeezes Faith so hard, the poor girl squeaked. I mean, girl, we get it. You love your daughter, but let's not break her ribs. Nick, being his usual concerned self, suggests she go home and rest, but nope. Sharon is exactly where she wants to be, with her coffee, her trauma, and apparently a new sense of control over her life. And let's be honest, Sharon regaining control of her life is the equivalent of a slow burn plot waiting to explode in everyone's faces. Then we get into the good stuff. Sharon starts breaking down the mystery. This wasn't just some random abduction, it was calculated, meticulous, and somehow personal. And just when you think we're about to get a breakthrough, Nick drops the most Nick-like observation of all time. Talk about some extreme therapy? Sir, this was a torture chamber, not a healing retreat. But wait, Sharon actually admits it was cathartic? Girl, you were poisoned, traumatized, and forced to play mind games. Maybe Stockholm Syndrome is setting in. Just a thought. Anyway, Nick and Sharon come to the very logical conclusion that this must have been someone with a background in psychology. Meanwhile, at Billy's place, Sally is trying to make sense of the weirdest kidnapping she's ever heard of. Same girl, same. Billy, forever the chaos magnet, admits he risked his life for Phyllis, even knowing it could be a trap. Oh, Billy, your hero complex is showing. But then he starts kicking himself for not believing Phyllis was in real danger. Sally, being the level-headed queen she is, tells him to quit with the guilt trip. Because let's be real, Phyllis could have very easily been running one of her famous scams. Billy then drops the bombshell that had they been 5 minutes later, Phyllis and Sharon would have been dead, gas chamber style. And Sally is just like, yeah, this is insane. The cops better step up before we all end up in Saw Genoa City edition. And because every high-stakes conversation needs a romantic twist, Sally starts rubbing Billy's shoulders and calling him a hero. You know what that means? Kiss time. Because nothing screams I survived a horror movie scenario like making out. Over at the GCSE, Phyllis is finally reunited with her kids, and let me tell you, they are worried sick. But in true Phyllis fashion, she laughs it off and immediately starts eating a burger and refreshment. Iconic. Summer, forever the smart one, reminds her that the psycho behind this hasn't been caught, meaning Phyllis is still in danger. But does that stop Mama Red? Absolutely not. She's already plotting her revenge and vowing to hunt down the freak who did this. Daniel, her long-suffering son, steps in like, Mom, please let the police do their job. To which Phyllis essentially says, yeah, sure, whatever. We all know she's about to go full vigilante. Phyllis admits that she and Sharon actually worked through some issues. And not just tolerate each other, work through issues, she literally had to save Sharon's life when she had no heartbeat. Y'all, are we about to see a frenemy turned reluctant ally situation? Speaking of Phyllis, she struts over to Billy's place, interrupts his makeout session with Sally, and immediately declares, I need my life back and you're the only one who can help me. Now, Billy is all for her comeback tour, but he's also like, girl, maybe take a breather. Phyllis, take a break. Never. She's already setting her sights on diving back into Abbott Communications because that's what kept her going when she was locked up. Honestly, this woman has one of the most impressive bounce backs in soap history. Then Billy drops a truth bomb. He already put out the press release without her name on it. Oof, Phyllis plays it cool, but we know she's plotting. Still, she forgives him because, he saved her life and all. And then we get a classic emotional Phyllis Billy hug. Back at the crime scene, Detective Chance is doing his detective-y things, bagging evidence and barking orders. He later heads to Crimson Lights, where he tells Nick and Sharon that they found a gas tap device that was purchased from a hardware store near the clinic. which means dun dun dun, they can check the surveillance footage. Finally, some movement on this case. Nick Ever the Realist is like, Phyllis has a lot of enemies, but this is some next level vendetta. And Sharon, exhausted from all the trauma, is ready for a vacation. Nick suggests she take Faith to see Noah in Europe, and she's like, only if you come too. Ooh, a romantic getaway for two? We love to see it. Over in Alan and Traci's suite, things are getting shady. Traci picks up Alan's phone, sees some weird alerts, and Alan snaps. Sir, why are you acting so suspicious? He claims he's been getting security breach messages and hasn't even touched his phone in days. Except Traci has receipts that he texted her earlier. Uh-oh. Alan, sweating bullets, brushes it off, talking about how fascinating it would be for a therapist to have his identity stolen. Oh, honey, if you're lying, Traci will figure it out. This woman writes mystery novels for a living. But instead of pressing, they move on to wedding talk, and Alan suggests they jet off to Paris. Oh, really, Alan? Very convenient timing. His phone starts buzzing again. He turns it off in frustration. And we are left wondering, is Alan hiding something? Because I don't trust this man. Wow, what an episode. Kidnappings, near-death experiences, psychological experiments, and suspicious boyfriends. Genoa City is truly unhinged. What do you think? Is Phyllis about to go full vigilante? Is Alan shady? And are we getting a Paris romantic getaway for Sharon and Nick? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because the drama never stops. See you next time.